Well, today is the day. We're going to add some bridge block mounted piezoelectric transducers from JJB Electronics in Bay City, Michigan. Jesse there was kind enough to supply me with a custom set of these in that it has no jack or termination plug or anything on the other end. It's just bare wires. The reason for that is I'm not going to add a preamp to this guitar. It already has a preamp and it's using a saddle pickup. But I much prefer the sound of the bridge block pickup, and I'm going to stick those on the bottom of the bridge block, remove the connection from the existing saddle mounted piezo, and replace it with this one. So that's the plan anyway, and there's a couple of ways to do that. I've done this on one other guitar, but it was a deep body and I could get my whole arm in there. This one is a shallow body, so it's a little more difficult. You can't get your whole arm, at least I can't. I can get a hand in there though, and I've got a plan to do that, and that'll be addressed shortly. But why the reason for the block mounted pickups? Well, currently the scheme is for the strings to vibrate, transfer their energy to the saddle in turn transmits that energy to the piezoelectric, which excites not only the piezoelectrics under the saddle, but the soundboard also. And so the piezo under the saddle is getting all the information or energy from the strings and the vibration of the soundboard. And they may not be resonant at the same frequency. Can't guarantee that, but it stands to reason, right? So there's some things that, some artifacts in the signal that people don't like, and they try to filter them out with pedals and EQ and other things. But when we get right to the natural frequency of the soundboard, do you really need all that? No, not really. I'm very, very, very pleased with the first guitar I converted. Now, JJB supplies these triple transducers designed specifically for guitar in at least one other configuration. The default is a 6mm or 1/4 inch jack that replaces the plug in the end of the guitar here. So that works, and that's what I did first, but I needed a preamp outside that. I really didn't want that, so I added a preamp with EQ to that guitar, and it is wonderful for cheap. So this is the plan. The idea is to cement the pickups between the bridge pins, but on the block, the bottom of the bridge block, outside the pins and where the strings ball ends won't interfere. Now there's a couple of ways of doing that. The way I did it on the large body is to put a light inside and then reach the whole arm in there, and you can use 2 fingers, find the location, you can see where your hands are, and you back off just a little bit, hold it with the super glue for 10 seconds and remove it. That's one method. The next method is to drop a couple of bridge pins in. We'll just do 2 of them here. Just an example. This isn't the real deal. I'll actually record it. But you slide in, find the bottom of the bridge pins with your finger to which is attached temporarily one of the piezo sensors, and you simply push up. It'll come in contact with the bottom of the bridge block. Hold it for 10 seconds for the glue to cure enough that you can remove your finger, and you're done with one of them. That's the idea, and that's where we'll pick it up in the next segment. So here's how we go about installing these little piezo transducers inside the guitar. This is the easiest method I've found, and quite accurate. It requires some dexterity, and you have to proceed with caution because what you do here is going to be pretty much permanent. So the first step is to wrap your finger with some tape. I use this blue masking tape because it seems to be just about perfect for it. So I wrap it around once around a finger, then double it back. I wrap it around the other direction so that the sticky side is out. Okay, now you got a sticky finger. So the idea is to place one of the transducers on your sticky finger and give it a good squeeze so that it now becomes stuck to your finger. Then we're going to take a little bit of gel super glue and stick it on the transducer. Then we can, I'm going to get light here just in case. Just find the bridge pins that are sticking down here. And once you've found them, simply lift up the transducer to the bridge block. Yeah, I can just see the tip of my finger. So it was in contact with the bridge pins, so I know I got the location right. That's between those two. And then I hold it for a mere 10 seconds, and you can just roll the tape off. I'm going to hold it for a little longer. I wish I was counting, but I didn't really want to bore you with 1 through 10. So I'm just going to say that's good after 15 seconds and see if I can be successful here in pulling this off. I worry about it, but it worked. There we go. 1 transducer done. Now I'm going to let that sit for a while because it does take some time for the glue to cure. But only 10 to 15 seconds for it to take enough set so that it'll stay in place. And the cure time, I believe, is hours, but I'm not sure. I'm just going to leave it in there for a while. I can be patient. So that completes it. The rest is just wiring, and that's really simple.